Have you ever owned a guitar that sat too long, maybe in a closet or a damp basement, but you want to bring it back to life? This video series is for you. This is part one of bringing back to life a dead SG style guitar. Check it out. We got something a little different on the workbench today. It's a very old SG style guitar from Jay Turser. It's in rough shape. I don't think it was well taken care of, but it's cool. You know, it's a cool look, cool style. Got that gnarly pick guard, which everyone loves. 2 humbuckers, but there's a lot of signs of just wear and maybe moisture in the air. Like the pickup covers look grungy. The whole body looks grungy. Look at that. There's a lot of nicks and dings in it, and that's okay because they don't affect the sound. See the back of that? It's kind of wild, like really bad. We're gonna do some disassembly here. Just want to show you, it's an older Jay Turser, so the headstock's a lot simpler. There's no little cool little design right here like a lot of them have. I want to take it apart and see if we can give it some new life. Yeah. Let's just take everything off. I'll tell you what I'd really like to do is to get this whole body and that pick guard looking much better. Let's check it out. Let's just say that thing has seen better days. Just maybe somebody used it as a plate to eat off of. Anyway, there's the body. Look at the screws around the pickups. They're all rusty too, you know, and that's gross. And actually, the saddle and bridge doesn't look too bad, and this doesn't look too bad. Let me see what happens if I rub it. It's not horrible. The tailpiece, you know, these pickups. Let's just do a quick little rub on there and see what happens. They're kind of ugly. We're going to try and polish them up. Get these nasty strings off there. I've seen cleaner ones. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus now. Focus. There is a serious amount of grunge down inside there. Hair and fuzz. And the frets show a lot of signs of wear. See the fret wear? See those little grooves in the frets? So we'll do a nice fret job. We'll level them, polish them, shine them up. I got the strings off and we can see a little closer. This thing is just gross. I want to take off one of these pickups and look inside there and see what they look like. Look at all the rust. You just have been sitting somewhere that's damp, obviously. This is a subliminal message. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. There we go. Careful. Don't want to go crazy. Nothing fancy. I can feel the wax on the back. So they've been wax potted. That's good. No markings that I can see. Just a lot of crust. I'm not sure if I'm keeping these pickups. I might. But I'll tell you what I'm definitely going to do is clean them up big time. We're going to take these little bridge adjustment parts out. They just unscrew. And even the 3-way switch works nice, but it's grungy. Let's get these, I want to get those knobs off there, but I'm going to see about taking these off. There we go. Get those out of there. I'm taking all this off so I can polish the body. I really want this to look at least a little better than it does. Now let's get these knobs off. This is my favorite little tool for that. It's really ingenious. It's plastic so it doesn't scratch. Take this, pull it back like that. You put it over the knob, and then you pull this down, and it grabs the knob. So watch this. Okay, I got it on under the knob, like it's under the edges of the knob. Push this down, kind of lock it in place. Then you rock it back and forth. Look at that. Ooh, there's even grunge underneath there. Let's get all of them off. The next thing to take off are, well, before I do that, let's do this. Let's tape these down so they don't keep falling all over the place until I'm ready to take them apart. Okay, first of all, look at all the grunge. Grungy! I tell you what though, while we're here, this tool is great for taking these off or tightening them. I always tighten these up when I work on a guitar, doing a setup, because the tighter everything, oops, that one wants to move. So let's grab something like this and hold it. There we go. The tighter everything is, the less vibrations and noise you have. Less noise, better output, better sound. All right, let's go up to the tuners. The nut fell out already. You're gonna see that's gone. That nut is plastic. I'm going to put probably a bone or tusk brand nut in there. I like those much better. You can find those online, and I'll put links for that stuff down below. Tell you what else I love, this bad boy. It's a cork neck support. I mean, what the heck? You can use it two different directions. See, if you want it real high or you want it down a little lower. And sometimes I even use the flat side, depending on what I'm doing. I like to use that. Now, if I go like this, we can see the tuners are held in by one screw here. This is a subliminal message. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Back over to this side, and we will loosen these nuts. We got everything out of the headstock. Show you a couple things. This is what is called the truss rod, and it looks rough, but what we want to do is take one of our wrenches here and see if this fits, which it does. Okay, so look, it usually twists one way or the other. See that? That's usually hidden by the nut. But what we'll do is we'll just test and see if it's going to adjust, and it does. That little black mark you see on there is just paint. It's not a crack in the metal. And I'm going to try and move it back the other direction. That's tightening it, which will make the neck pull back more. This is loosening it, and it seems to move both directions about the same. A little bit more snug to tighten it, but that's okay. All right, now let's go back to this. Now, if you notice, it looks really rough around here. I'm going to try to buff a lot of these scratches out.
Don't worry, Captain. We'll buff out those scratches.
I got the tuning machines out of it, and the nut, which is the plastic part right here, the strings pass over, fell out. Now here's the old one. It's just a cheap piece of plastic. The good thing is I usually have extras, and I have this Tusk brand. It's a black finish, which is really sweet. And this is made out of a composite material, a composite bone, like imitation bone, but it's much better for the strings. It may even be made of graphite. Somebody help me out in the comments, I don't remember. But the good and bad is, the good is it's the same size, pretty much. It's a little thinner this way, see that? The height and the string spacing are all the same. real close. Maybe that middle one's a little different, but that's okay. We can live with that. But the outer two strings look pretty good. And they're a little difference in thickness this way, but I noticed something. When I put this old one back in, there's room between here and the slot in the wood. See that? It moves back and forth this direction. When I take the other one, I think with just a little bit of sanding, always want to sand it flat, sand this surface flat, I can make it fit right down in there and be a nice fit. Let's see how that happens. I'll sand it right now and come back. I sanded this new nut down a little bit. All I did, this is the side I wanted to sand that sticks against the top of the fretboard. Took a piece of sandpaper laying on my workbench over there, not the padded foam area, but you need a hard, flat wood surface. And I just set it down flat and ran it back and forth several times on the sandpaper to get a nice, consistent, smooth surface. Then let's try it out. And that's much better. There's no wiggle back and forth this way. And we want to make sure that it's touching the surface behind there, both sides. It's laying flat here. If you look at that, you can see that. And it's a little bit loose. You can see there's a gap there. Looks like I need to do something, either sand the side of this more or clean this wood out a little bit. We'll see. I'll check that and I'll be back. After a little bit more sanding, I was able to get the nut to fit in just right. And I said earlier you want it to sit flat on this surface and this surface because you want it to make full connection so there's no movement when you're playing your strings. And when it looks good there, much better than it was before. And it looks good there. Now, got to take something into consideration. This surface has some scrappy paint on it, like a very messy paint job. I might have to scrape that off, but this is a very budget guitar, so this kind of stuff is to be expected. All right, we're going to try to do a little bit of buffing to get some of this stuff to look better. I want to see if it's going to even work. Thanks for watching part 1 of my series on bringing this SG guitar back to life. Make sure to check back soon for part 2 when I start buffing and cleaning it up.